Hi guys, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. This is Jason bringing you today's video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. We appreciate all of that support. Very new channel. This is our passion. Books. That's what we want to do. We want to talk about books to you guys. Talk about books, talk about authors. So today I want to talk about an author that has evolved the writing style. Evolved the writing style, but I want to go back to the beginning. I want to go back to their first set of books that I absolutely loved. So I want to talk about John Clarkson. Originally he wrote this trilogy, the One trilogy basically. Not like the One Ring, but one was just in the title of every single book. And they were action thrillers. They were very, 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 very action thrillers. They were over the top, uber action thrillers. He has since gone into writing different types of thrillers that are actually much, much, much better, while still being a lot less actiony, but a lot better books. And in fact, I have his most recent one downloaded into my Kindle right now. But I want to talk about John Clarkson. So I'm going to talk about John Clarkson and his book And Justice for One. It also has one man's law and one way out, but And Justice for One is the one I want to talk about. As usual, I'm going to talk about four things. I'm going to talk about the world, characters, plot, and the writing style. So the world, our world, modern world, no real changes to it. There's no supernatural elements. There's nothing but just our world. Okay, moving on to characters. That concludes our world discussion. So the character, Jack Devlin. Jack Devlin is former military. He works for a private security firm, a global private security firm, and he is basically their version of a special agent. He is one of their top people. He knows and is friends with. Almost a mentor to him is the owner of the security company. I think it's called Pacific Rim or something like that. It's Asian-based. The owner is Asian, very Zen-like. Jack Devlin is a former soldier, martial artist. He is just an uber warrior, uber investigator. Yeah, uber mensch. I mean, he really is. He is like something out of a movie. And that pretty much sums up Jack Devlin. He's like the perfect warrior, basically. He does have his contacts, and in most of the books he gets help, and help is pretty fascinating. In this particular book, the help he gets is a private contractor that is a martial artist. That's his primary. He works in a dojo, and he's just just the uber martial artist. So basically, Jack gets his Kato as his backup. In some of the other books, he gets even funnier backup. But in this instance, he gets the uber martial artist. But Jack himself is a martial artist. So plot-wise, well, the plot of this book is pretty interesting, considering that the character of Devlin is a private security specialist and almost like like their special agent. None of the books deal with that company. You would think that if he wanted to have this as a series, it's pretty easy when you have a character that's like the special agent of a global private security firm. You could always have your different plot lines pop up just from that all around the world. But instead, all the books always deal with personal issues for Jack Devlin. In this case, he is informed that his brother, who's a pretty big guy himself, Jack is almost Jack Reacher style size. Not quite that big, but he's a big, strong, fast guy. His bigger brother, he's informed that his brother is in the hospital. Went out to a bar, ended up in the hospital from assault. So Jack obviously doesn't like that a whole lot. So he knows his brother, the gentle giant. So he goes down. I believe this is in New York. He goes down to New York to visit his brother, and decides he wants to know what happened, because the cops are kind of like blowing it. Oh, well, people say that your brother started a fight. He's like, nah, there's no way my brother started a fight. So he decides he wants to investigate this, find out a little bit more about it. So he thus starts his investigation, and he starts it at the nightclub bar that his brother was assaulted in and ended up in the hospital. And basically he just turns into a one-man wrecking crew through an entire underground criminal enterprise. The best way I could actually put it, and this just popped into my head, as far as the plot goes, as far as the action goes, Jack Devlin is John Wick, basically. He has been wronged on a personal basis by a criminal organization, but a local one, a small one, nothing global, just a small New York-based criminal organization, and does a one-man wrecking crew through the entire damn organization and cleans it out root and file. I mean, just utterly destroys it. That's the best way I can sum up the plot of And Justice for One. He brings out, some of the most interesting weapons. Manriki Gusari that he's wearing as a necklace. Kind of, they say, you can't really tell, but it's actually a weapon that actual Manriki Gusari has very large weights on either end, and the chain has to be pretty thick to stand up to actual combat. But he uses it in combat. It's pretty interesting. Although now I'm trying to remember if he used this one or the second book, because they're all so similar. But him and his martial arts companion, they just go tearing through nightclubs, through bars, just destroy this criminal underworld, and he achieves vengeance for his brother, who doesn't even die. Eventually ends up waking up from the coma he is in. The writing style, last thing I want to talk about, the writing style for these books is not John Clarkson's current writing style. The writing style for these books, I would have to say, I said the character and the plotline is very John Wick-ish. I would actually say the writing style is closer to Crank. It is just non-stop. I can only think of one author that is actually faster and more non-stop with the action, and that would be Matthew Riley. John Clarkson, these books, again, non-stop action. Action piece to the next action piece, to the next firefight, to the next fist fight, to the next kung fu fight, to the next firefight, to the next car chase, the next explosion. Non-stop. Everything leads to everything else. By the end of the book, Jack Devlin is pretty damn beat up, cut up, sore, sorry, and alive, unlike everybody else. Hope you guys find this interesting, something to read. It's an older book, so I'm sure most of you guys have not stumbled across it. If you like thrillers, you like action thrillers, you gotta read it. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons before you do, however. Thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you next time. Bye!